Welcome to Slapshot Podcast, episode number 77. I'm your host, Christopher Morais. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Walk right in, grab yourself a chair, sit down, grab your popcorn, beverage of choice. We got a good one today. I am feeling a lot better than the last time I was. Yes, I am not dying as much. Just a little bit, but not a lot of it. So, happy that that's going well. Happy that I'm feeling better. Happy to have all of you in here as we approach the end of November. Slowly but surely, hockey now is in full swing. We're about at the quarter way of the NHL season-ish, about. Lots of things to get to today. Of course, we're going to go through some news, as always. Puckdoku, yes. And then we're going to finish off last episode, 76. We did Canada and the U.S. Four Nations Cup roster. So if you haven't checked that out, you can do so. Today we're going to do Sweden. We're going to do Finland. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff to get through today. As always, if you have found yourself in here by accident, thank you, YouTube algorithm. Go ahead, hit the sub button, and ring the bell. If you want to follow me on Twitter, make sure you do so at FuzzyChris91. Follow the pod as well at Slapshot Podcast. Go over there, click the link tree. You like the podcast in an audio version because you don't want to see my face. It's perfectly understandable. Go ahead, get the podcast wherever you enjoy it. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, everywhere wherever else. Google Podcasts, everywhere you enjoy podcasts, you can get it there. So yes, let's get to some things that have happened since the last time we spoke. We're gonna keep some of these brief because we got some news here that's gonna be the main one. All right, so Pavel Datsyuk signed a one-day contract to retire as a Detroit Red Wing. I mean, what could be said about the Magic Man, right? He's in the Hall of Fame, where he deserves to be. The Datsyukian shootout move, obviously, everybody knows. So, good for Pavel Datsyuk. Good for him for retiring as a Red Wing, as he should. Austin Matthews is in Germany, not on vacation. He's over there to see a specialist about his injury. Everybody wants to be like, oh no, it's not that big of a deal. And you're like, yeah, sure. I also travel across the ocean to seek medical advice about something and not call it problematic. So that doesn't sound good. Not good. No idea when he's coming back to the lineup. My fantasy team would like him to come back sooner rather than later. But yeah, I guess we just got to wait this out, see what's happening. But yeah, not great. Sticking with injuries, Alex Ovechkin, unfortunately, is going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. He's got a fractured fibula. This will be the longest absence of his career. He has never been injured this long. It puts him out about a month and a half. Probably misses about 15 games. I mean, I hope he was on a tear to start the year, and I don't know if he's going to break the record this year. He's probably going to have to play next year. But, man, that's unfortunate. It didn't even look like that much of a contact either for it to be a fracture in his fibula. I thought maybe it was the knee, maybe something there, ligament, something like an MCL. But 4 to 6 weeks, at least with fractures, they heal. He should come back at some point. Hopefully he does, because I want to see him break the record. Sticking with players who are out of the lineup, J.T. Miller has taken a leave of absence from the Vancouver Canucks. It doesn't sound like it's injury related. It does not sound either like he's dealing with something that has to do with substance abuse or whatnot. The word around town is that maybe he is feeling a lot of pressure and it's just not going the way he wants to. And this is a little bit of a mental reset, which is fair. I'm not going to speculate on what it is. It is what it is. If JT Miller needs some time to clear his head, get back in it, be the best that he can be, sure. But yeah, man, at least, like I said, it doesn't sound like it's anything too serious, which is always best case scenario. If he's just trying to work through the stuff, maybe he needs a little bit of a moment to decompress, give it to him, right? The Vancouver Canucks are a better team with him in the lineup, but you want him to be right because he is an elite player in this league. He brings so much to the Vancouver Canucks. He's a leader, of course. So I hope he gets the help whatever he's dealing with. Hope he feels better. Hope he can return to the NHL because the league is better with him in it. The main news out of this, maybe you live under a rock, you haven't heard about it. The Boston Bruins have decided to fire Jim Montgomery because he was the problem in Boston. Right. So Don Sweeney has decided that Boston needed a shakeup. Look, it's no secret that they're not off to a great start, right? Bruin fans, we can be honest. I specifically enjoy this, not because I enjoy watching the Bruins suffer, right? That's not why. But this is quite interesting considering that like Jim Montgomery is probably a really like one of the better hockey coaches. And despite the fact that he leaves now, Boston, having a 0.715 winning percentage. Okay. So winning over 70% of his hockey games. He finishes now his Boston tenure with 120 wins, 41 losses, and 23 overtime losses. Regular season record. He lost 41 games since he's been the Bruins head coach, and somehow he got fired. This is Jim Montgomery paying the price because the Boston Bruins are not a very good team. Right? Like this is Don Sweeney's fault, and I'm going to throw Cam Neely in there as well because both those clowns are not doing a very good job. Right? Those are the guys who should have been packing their bags and leaving, but they fired him first and saying, hey, maybe we could turn this ship around. Right? Now, Joe Sacco's come in as an interim head coach. You're not rooting for a guy to fail, right? That's fine. If you feel like you need a change in voice, okay. But that's not what the Boston Bruins need. This is a terrible hockey team, and I can't stress this enough, okay? I had a lot of people last year when I thought the Boston Bruins were going to miss the playoffs be like, no, Chris, what are you talking about? They're not going to miss playoffs. This is a good team. They got one of the top 5 defensive cores. It's true. It's somewhere on TikTok. You can go back and scroll. But, I was maybe a year ahead. This is the real Boston Bruins team, by the way. This is a horrendous team. Don Sweeney has done a terrible job building this team. They got significantly worse in the offseason. Okay? They overpaid Elias Lindholm and Nikita Zadorov, and they're not very good. And the rest of that team is just trash. Right? Not to mention, Linus Ullmark went out the door, and now you're struggling. I'm going to throw Cam Neely into this as well, because Cam Neely did not do a very good job, right? Don't forget, during the Jeremy Swayman negotiations, he was very vocal about things. He has not made this situation better. These two guys need to be let go ASAP before the Bruins turn it around. This is not a very good team. This is their fault because they constructed this lineup. There's only so much a head coach can do with a below average lineup. And look, Montgomery did literally the best that he could with this team. This team exceeded expectations for a long time. Now the reality is set in. This is not a very good team, okay? Let me just, in case some of you are wondering, okay? Let me put this up here so you can look at it. This is the Boston Bruins forward group today, okay? Look at this and tell me this looks like a really good hockey team. The center core is terrible. They don't have any elite wingers outside of David Pastrnak. The bottom 6 is trash. We're not even, why don't we talk about the defense as well? Let's go over it quickly, because this is just as bad. I mean, I don't know how else we could put this so Bruin fans can understand. You have a terrible team, and the wrong guy got fired. But hey, Montgomery's going to find a home somewhere, because there's not many coaches sitting on their sofa, having won 71% of their hockey games. So I expect Montgomery to find some work somewhere, but this is not his fault. It's not his fault. The Boston Bruins are just an absolute trash team, and it starts with management. So I expect those two to get the boot at the end of the year. You want to change the Boston Bruins. You want to change the philosophy. You want to change this team. Start by getting rid of the guys who are sitting there signing contracts and trying to make this team better. Okay? Cam Neely's allowed to be a great former player. He's also allowed to be terrible in a management role. Both things can exist. The same thing with Sweeney. It's just this whole roster has their fingerprints all over it. And somehow they didn't pay the price for this below average start to the year. So, do I feel bad for Boston fans? No, I don't. You're not going to, like, I'm not, look, am I shedding a tear? No, not shedding a tear. You've had your fun, okay? Now welcome to the real world where the rebuild starts and you don't really have much to start with. All right, so that was the news. There we go. I'll expect the hate mail later from Bruin fans who are going to tell me it's not that bad and their team is better than they've been so far. I'm excited. I'm excited to read those comments because they're not very good. All right, let's go. Let's go to the main topic here, of course. All right, we're back for Puckdoku. That's right. We're gonna try to push this to four in a row. That's right. We've been winning for a lot of weeks now in a row, and now I know the rules a lot better. So, like, we're good here. So this one seems to be a very goalie tailored one. So if you're new to Puckdoku, you have no idea how this works. I got to find a player that matches the description here, right? So 1 shutout in a season, 10 career wins, plus 90 save percentage from San Jose, Columbus, and Pittsburgh. So there's a lot to go on here. We'll see how we do, but off the rip, it's gonna be tough, but I think we can do it. All right, let's start with the San Jose Sharks, okay? Let's start with the save percentage because I feel like that one's hard. Career save percentage played with the Sharks. Evgeny Nabokov. That was probably a popular one. Yes. 10 plus wins career as a goalie and who played in San Jose. I got to think of some goalies that have played in San Jose. 1 shutout in a season. It's just gonna keep it simple. Mackenzie Blackwood. I'm trying to think of San Jose goalies. Do we just take Vitek Vanacek here? All right. I mean, this isn't very elite, but it matches all the categories that we need. All right. 9 plus 90 save percentage in his career. I'm gonna put Bobrovsky here. Yeah, that was a popular one. 10 plus career wins. I'm gonna put Mark Denis here. Remember him? All right, this is good. 1 plus shutout in a season. Who's their current goalie? I know, right? Columbus is very forgettable. Merzlikins. Elvis Merzlikins. Okay, there we go. Very good. All right, hey, we're making progress here. Let's take a moment here. Okay, let's go to Pittsburgh. Plus 90 save percentage here. Let's go with hold on. Let's go with Fleury. Let's go with Marc-Andre Fleury. Yeah. 10 plus wins in a goalie career. Let's go with Tristan Jarry. I know. I mean, Jarry's a walking trash can today, but once upon a time he was good. 1 plus shutout in a season. Was it Barrasso? No? Yeah, Tom Barrasso. There we go. That's 4 in a row, baby. We did it. This one, I'm going to be honest. The Puckdoku gods gave us an easy one today. This was not very hard. So it's pretty good. I need easy ones like this a lot. I do. That was perfect. That was wonderful. Let's see the ones here. Elvis Merzlikins I mean, yeah, look, these were not hard, right? Martin Jones. How could I forget Martin Jones? Oh, I know why. It's Martin Jones. Elvis, very popular here. Bobrovsky, obviously, Fleury, Barrasso, Jerry. This one was not hard. Did some people actually get 0? Or like a couple of these? Do anybody, like, who are these people? Why are they so bad at this game? Oh, I'm proud of myself. That's a W. Big wins. All right. That was a lot quicker than I thought it would be. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I get ready to do this, right? I don't check Puckdoku on the days that I do the podcast because I don't want to cheat, right? But I will say this. I always worry, right? I'm always like, how is it gonna be easy? Because some days I do it and it's like it's so tough. And I'm like, man, I'm so lucky I didn't do this on like a Wednesday or something because I would have never gotten it. So most of this is luck. I would say about 90% luck, 10% skill. But yeah, I'm happy that went well. All right, let's build some rosters here. Let's build some 4-nation rosters. Okay. So like I said, I built Canada, I built the United States. Okay, we're gonna go to 2 other nations here. Finland and Sweden. Okay. We're gonna do the Finns, we're gonna do the Swedes. Which one do we want to start with? Let's start with Finland. All right. So let's start with the Finns. Real simple here. So I'm going to build it international style. 13 forwards, 7 defensemen, 3 goalies. Okay. 23-man roster. We'll go with that. Let's see. Let's start with the goalies. Man, there's not that many great Finnish goalies. Okay. UC Saros is probably the best of it. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen would be the second. You know what? I'm gonna reward Jonas Korpisalo. I think it got off to a rough start in Boston, but he's been not as bad. So he may not play, obviously. Like, this is Saros' is crease, and then UPL can kind of backstop it a little bit, but that to me is a pretty good goalie core. There's not, again, I don't think, like, it's not Kopelkaka, it's not Ville, so that's for sure. I guess the only one maybe you could talk about, like, Kevin Lankinen if you wanted, a Noonan, but yeah, not really. Defense, Miro Heiskanen, I feel like is an easy one. Nico Mikkola will be another one. Now I gotta go down here. Yeah, it gets pretty thin pretty quick here. Yeah, that doesn't look good. Okay. So Esa Lindell will have to go as well. Henry Jokiharju can go. Juuso Välimäki can go. Rasmus Ristolainen, unfortunately. How many do we got there? Like that. We need one more. Man. Hakanpää or Mata? Probably Mata. It's not great. We didn't really break our skulls here. This seems like, man, this defense is a good real life defense, but they're missing some like offensive puck movers. Like, I don't consider Miro Heiskanen like a great puck moving defenseman, but he's by far the best one on this team. There's no question about that. All right. Well, let's see. Let's go down the center group here. The skater. So let's start with Barkov and Aho. Okay. I'll throw Rupe Hintz in there. I think that's a good mix down the middle, right? They have Mikko Rantanen at center. I don't like he's not, to me he's not a centerman. He's a winger. Mikael Granlund as well. I know he can play center. I probably want him to play the wing with like Aho or something. Turbo would probably go there as well. Turi Lehkonen will definitely come. Turi Lehkonen, I'd want him to play with Rantanen and Barkov. Like that would be. I feel like that would be a good line here, right? Rantanen and Lehkonen play together. Alexander Barkov. This line could definitely play against the best. Like Finland's team is gonna. Their offense may be a little like, but they can definitely shut down some of the elite players. I don't know how healthy Patrick Laine is going to be, but I think he deserves to be there. Probably at a top 6 role. I would bring Capo Caco. I know it hasn't been easy for him, right? But I would still bring him. This team they Anton Lundell probably as well. Anton Lundell I would bring. He could probably play I would have Turbo play the wing, Lundell on like a 4th line. I'll bring Joel Armia, and then I'll bring Eli Tolvanen. Like this. I need one more player. I'll bring Michelli as a 13 forward. I just realized Team Finland's not that deep. You need some, I mean, Joel Armia can play like that 3rd, 4th line kind of role, right? It's good enough. It's good enough. I think of the 4 teams though, I think Finland has the weakest overall group. I think Team Sweden will be better than Team Finland. Yes, I do. But this is not bad. Finland's got some, they got some players, right? It's not like Mikko Rantanen and Alexander Barkov are nobodies, right? Same thing with Aho. I think this will be a really good, well-structured team. These are guys who, like Barkov, Aho, Rupe Hintz, these are guys who play in all situations. So, and defensively, we'll see. Goaltending as well, we'll see. All right, so that was Team Finland. Good job, I guess. That wasn't very tough. Not that many. All right, let's go to Team Sweden here. This is where I wanted to hang out. Let's go to goalies. Now we got to pick. I would go with Philip Gustafsson. Okay. Philip Gustafsson and Jacob Markstrom make it for me. I feel like by default you have to bring Linus Ullmark. But I don't think I would not start Linus Ullmark ahead of Gustafsson and Markstrom. I think that is Philip Gustafsson's crease, considering what he's doing with the Minnesota Wild. I think Jacob Markstrom is more than capable of, being the second goalie there. Linus Ullmark just falls into a situation where he's off to a bad start this season, and, it is what it is. But I will say this. I feel like Linus Ullmark benefited a lot. Like, he's gone to Ottawa. Ottawa is a terrible defensive team, okay? Some of you thought the Ottawa Senators were going to be a good team this year, and that was LOL, quite literally. So maybe on a better Swedish team, Linus Ullmark will look better, but that same sentence would be true then for Jacob Markstrom and Philip Gustafsson. So I would just go with Philip Gustafsson here. I think that's more than fair. Not going to get crazy around that. Let's go now to the defense. Now, here's why I think personally that Sweden is better than Team Finland is because of their defensive group. Okay. I'm going to bring, here's the thing. I'm going to bring Erik Karlsson. Okay. I know he's not the best defensive player. Stop it. But Rasmus Dahlin and Victor Hedman, that kind of feels like a cheat code. Okay. What is... What is that? Okay. I turned it off. before I get demacked here. Okay. Is it done? Is it done? Yeah, it's done. Okay. Try it. I guess the ads are picking up. I'm being distracted by an ad. What if I just mute the page, mute site? There we go. Okay. All right. Where was I? Okay. Defensively, I would bring as well Matthias Ekholm, Gustav Forsling. Okay. I will, like I said, we're bringing Erik Karlsson. Okay. I know he may not be the best defensive defenseman, but you need there's still a spot for him. Okay. There's still a spot for him. Like something sorry, I would play Dahlin and Hedman together, and then Forsling and Ekholm. Erik Karlsson, I'm gonna put him at the 7th spot. I think he's probably better suited as a power play specialist, right? I don't really want to go down here too far. I will bring as well Rasmus Andersson. Okay, I think that helps. I need one more here. And at first, I thought maybe Hampus Lindholm. I'm going to bring Rasmus Sandin. Maybe you play Sandin and Eriksson and Karlsson together, and Rasmus Andersson can be your 7th defenseman. Or maybe you play Andersson with Karlsson, and then Sandin is your 7th defenseman. But I think this defensive core is very good. This is good. This is very good. There's guys like Hedman and Dahlin are solid defensively. They can move the puck. Matthias Ekholm has really helped the Edmonton Oilers since being traded there, because Edmonton's defense would probably be worse without him. Gustav Forsling, underrated, by the way. It is what it is, right? Rasmus Andersson, like I said, to me, if I don't bring Erik Karlsson, who else am I bringing? Am I going to bring Adam Lark? I don't need any of these other defensive defensemen because I already have good defensemen. So I could take a shot with Erik Karlsson because I know what he could bring. I'll take my chances with him, Team Sweden. I'll take my chances. Let's find some skaters now. So let's start at the top here. We're going to bring Elias Pettersson. Obviously, we're going to bring William Nylander. We're also going to bring Philip Forsberg. Okay. I probably would have all three play together. I would not have all three play together. Elias Pettersson could feed the puck to Philip Forsberg. That'll be fine. I would have Jesper Bratt play maybe on that top line. I'll bring Mika Zibanejad. I know some of you are not, I get it. Lucas Raymond as well. Right? I'm going to bring Lucas Raymond. There's no question I wouldn't. Let's just go down here. William Karlsson definitely makes it. Adrian Kempe, of course, would make it. Joel Eriksson Ek, yes. This is starting to get good. Adrian Kempe does not. William Karlsson here, like that. No. Leo Carlson will be my 13th forward. I'm not just gonna dump Leo there. Man. See, do I want to bring William Eklund or Elias Lindholm probably gets an invite. He can probably play the wing. I will say this. Ricard Raquel probably comes. I'm going to bring William Eklund as well. Let me see if I'm missing anybody that's lowered salary that could be in Gustav Nyquist, no. Marcus Johansson, no. Isaac Lunderstrom, Fabian Zetterlund, no. Nils Hoglander, no. No. Okay. That would be fair. I think this is good. Maybe I would flip Eriksson Ek here and have Zibanejad be a third centerman. Right? Why not? Ideally I would like to have Elias Lindholm down the middle, but I also want William Karlsson to come because of his defensive capabilities. Right? You could even put, here's the thing though, I put him here. I like Adrian Kempe can shoot the puck, and obviously Willie Nylander can. I want to make sure Willie Nylander gets like the best opportunities here. So I don't want Nylander 5-on-5 to play with Forsberg because Forsberg shoots a lot, and Nylander does as well. So you kind of want to spread that out a little bit, and then you can have maybe you put William Eklund here, and then you have Elias Lindholm, Karlsson, or Raquel be like a shutdown line, right? Ish. And then you have Leo Carlsson here every once in a while. I would personally bring Leo Carlsson. I would. Not leaving him at home. I like Leo Carlsson. This is a pretty good team. This is a pretty good team. The goaltending is solid. Defensively, I think this is a really good squad. This is Team Sweden's going to give Canada and the U.S. a run for their money defensively. I don't know if offensively they have the same amount of punch, right? But they definitely, this group to me is up there defensively. This could be probably the best defensive group in terms of players. You can play all 7 of these defensemen regularly, including Erik Karlsson. I know you don't want to hear it. Including Erik Karlsson, you can definitely play him as well. That's fair, right? Okay, so this is what Team Finland looks like. Sorry, Team Sweden. This is Team Finland. Not bad, right? How much did we spend, by the way, on the cap? 122 million, 153 million. Okay, pretty good. I did check what Canada was, but there we go. Team Finland, Team Sweden. Fantastic teams there. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we have gotten to the end of the podcast. There we go. Kept it short, kept it sweet, kept it to the point. I love it. As always, thank you for hanging out with me. If you have not already, make sure you go ahead on the YouTube, hit the sub button, ring the bell. Okay? I would appreciate that very, very much. If you haven't already, make sure you follow me on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, at FuzzyChris91. Make sure you follow the podcast as well on X, at Slapshot Podcast. All right. If you build one of these lineups for Canada, the United States, Sweden, or Finland, you can send it over. Just tweet it at me so I can see what you put together and tell you it's wrong. No, I'm kidding. No, it's probably wrong. But anyways, you can let it go. I appreciate all of you hanging out with me. Thank you so much for being here. We will come back next week. I know it's U.S. Thanksgiving next week, but I'm Canadian, so it doesn't matter. So we will be here again on Friday. As always, I love you. Stay safe, okay? We'll talk to each other soon.